There is a human cost to medical misinformation, and we're fighting it by answering one question at a time. Welcome back. This is the first video on the 10-minute question and answer series to counteract some of the serious medical misinformation in the social media and YouTube. I'm Dr. Digoma. I am a practicing cardiologist with over 40 years of clinical experience. For the last 20 years, my main focus has been in preventive cardiology and clinical lipidology. We have been saving lives, but we want to intensify that effort after the COVID-19 pandemic that killed so many, because heart attacks are largely preventable. I am in YouTube to reach out to the tens of millions of older adult Americans who are at high risk, at very high risk, and extremely high risk for heart attacks, and many don't even know it. About 1 million of them have a heart attack every year. Take the information that I provide you to your own primary care physician and cardiologist and have a discussion with them and ask them if you have plaques in your coronary arteries, and that if you do, ask if your medical treatment is sufficient to slow down and stop its progression. Okay, let's go to the first question. I read in Google and so on YouTube that cholesterol is not bad for you, that I can eat as much cholesterol-rich food as I want, and that LDL is supposedly my new best friend. Are these statements true? Can I stop my statin? Don't forget the basic rule when you do a research in the internet. Find out who the source is and the credentials of the source. Let me Google LDL is your new best friend. David Perlmutter came up. He's a celebrity doctor. He sells books. He is known as the brain doctor. I find lots of things about him. For $8,500, you can attend his brain detoxification retreat that he runs himself, and many other things that he does. He runs a well-oiled machine using all social media platforms to sell fake medical information. I am combating medical misinformation by giving you a brief mentoring. Let's call it Cholesterol 101. Let us lay the foundation for your understanding of cholesterol in the human body. This is the chemical structure of cholesterol. It is not a simple molecule like water, H2O. At the bottom is cholesterol in a crystalline powder. It is easiest and most practical to think of cholesterol in 3 different compartments. In the normal condition, cholesterol is present in the cell membrane and in the blood plasma. In disease state, cholesterol is found in the arterial wall, in plaques, like in your coronary arteries. In this slide, cholesterol is placed in specific locations, giving the cell membrane its structural integrity, among others. No cholesterol means no cell membrane. No cell membrane means no cells, no us. Cholesterol is essential to animal life. This cholesterol in the cell membrane, is not affected by your diet. You can't regulate it. You might say to yourself, so that is why they said I can eat all the cholesterol-rich food that I want, and that LDL is my new best friend because cholesterol is essential to animal life. Wait, not so fast. Don't jump to conclusions. Because cholesterol is essential, your cell makes all the cholesterol it needs. It does not depend on your dietary intake of cholesterol. Even if your cholesterol intake is 0, you will not suffer from cholesterol deficiency. Again, cholesterol is not a dietary requirement. The second compartment is cholesterol in the blood plasma where it is circulating inside your blood vessels. Cholesterol is a form of fat or oil, and blood plasma is mostly water. And as you know, oil and water do not mix together. Cholesterol and triglycerides are the two fats in the blood plasma. They are not found free floating in the blood plasma. They need to be placed inside specially made carriers made by the liver called lipoproteins. Lipoprotein is the cargo carrier of cholesterol and triglycerides. This slide shows the LDL particle carrying LDL cholesterol. LDL particle is the carrier and LDL cholesterol is the cargo. Cholesterol is carried inside the LDL particle. Most of the cholesterol in the plasma are found inside LDL particles. The inside of the LDL particle is packed mostly with cholesterol and just a little bit of triglycerides. You mentioned someone saying that LDL is your next best friend. I borrowed the slide from my next video on cholesterol cycle. VLDL particles carries lots of triglyceride and just some cholesterol. Triglycerides are manufactured in the liver, and the liver wants this triglyceride delivered to the skeletal muscle for use as fuel. After delivering most of its triglycerides, the VLDL particle shrinks in size, depleted with triglyceride, becoming a much smaller particle now containing mostly cholesterol. That particle is now called LDL particle carrying LDL cholesterol. So LDL comes from VLDL. LDL is the breakdown product of VLDL metabolism. So VLDL minus triglycerides equals LDL. And LDL is equals LDL particle plus LDL cholesterol. When someone tells you that your LDL cholesterol is 110 milligrams per deciliter, that means that the amount of LDL cholesterol carried by the LDL particles in your blood is 110 milligrams. The liver has special receptors called LDL receptors that act like Velcro. So when an LDL particle passes the liver, it is pulled out of the blood plasma and into the liver and recycled. Let us talk about the third compartment. In the disease state called atherosclerosis, LDL particles enter the arterial wall, where it becomes oxidized and dumps cholesterol inside the blood vessel wall, eventually forming a cholesterol-filled plaque. Over time, years, even decades, it progresses slowly and may rupture. The plaque rupture causes your heart attack. By age 50 or 60, this is how the artery might look inside. And the calcium scoring test might look something like this. So answering your questions, number one, cholesterol as a substance, not the cholesterol in your diet, is an essential structural component of the cell membrane. And your cells can make all the cholesterol they need. It is not a dietary requirement. Number two, no, you can't eat as much cholesterol-rich food as you want. Dietary intake of cholesterol affects the cholesterol level in your blood. Depending upon your age, your endothelial function, or whether you have plaques in your arteries, elevated cholesterol level can contribute and accelerate plaque buildup. Number three, the statement LDL is your new best friend is false and very misleading. It implies that you need more of it, and you don't need to lower it. Can you stop your statin? Definitely no. Talk to your primary care physician and your cardiologist. This is where medical misinformation can really hurt you, even kill you, or cost tens of thousands of healthcare expenditures.